Today in the Forge in Roblox, I have a complete guide to runes. Where do you find them? How good are they? Which ones are the best? What's the percent chance they drop? What is the maximum range of their stats? So what's a good one and what's the minimum range on their stats? Which ones do you want to use for which weapons, which pickaxes, in which situations? I have all that information here for you in this video. And if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and hit the red subscribe button. Become part of the first 300k OGs on the channel. And let's get into the video. So I've been doing a lot of research digging into the data to figure out which runes are the best. How do you know which stats are good for those runes, which secondary stats are good, and more importantly, where do they drop? And how often do they drop? To start, we're going to talk about pickaxe runes, because these ones are very important to people. You need really good runes in your pickaxe to help you farm more efficiently. And the most important one to acquire is luck, though there is some information to be said about yield, but that's a whole different conversation. So mining runes basically come in only 4 types, and it's everything over this red line. You have luck, you have yield, mining speed, and mining power. This chart also will show you the maximum percentage for each rune and the minimum percentage for each rune. So for example, if you're looking at your luck runes and you don't know which ones are the best, what is the best percentage? The best percentage for luck is 16%. For yield, it's 10%. For mining speed, it's 12%. And for mining power, it's 16%. Now, mining speed is decent. Mining power is just okay, but mining luck, that's the one that everyone is after. So the big question is, what do you do and who do you farm to acquire mining runes? In the Forge in Roblox, there are 2 locations to find mining runes. The first one are Delver zombies in World 1. You can recognize them because they're holding onto a pickaxe and they're a 1 in 35 chance to drop. Then you have bomber skeletons in World 2 and they're a 1 in 15% chance to drop. Now, having said that, from my experience, having luck on your character increases the odds of farming these. In my experiences farming the Reaper, for example, I've acquired more lifesteal runes than the rate is described. So I'm almost certain luck plays a factor in increasing these drop percentages. For the Delver zombie, you go into the cave in World 1 if that's the one you want to farm, because maybe the bomber guys are being farmed too much. And then from here, you go deep into the cave and you're looking for this guy right here, the zombie with the helmet on his head, holding on to a pickaxe, and my armor is killing him. But these guys can drop minor shards. And honestly, that is the only creature in all of World 1 that can drop any of these runes. So from there, we have to go to World 2 to talk about the rest of them. For when it comes to World 2, you want the bomber skeletons, and lots of bomber skeletons are found deep in the cave. Go straight ahead, as straight as you can, and go down this ramp. As you go down this ramp, you can hang a left and head on down here. And what you want to do is you just want to start killing every skeleton you find down here. The more skeletons you kill, the faster they die, the faster they'll respawn, allowing you to farm more and more bomber skeletons down in these caves. And all you have to do is kind of do a loop. You walk around this cave and you do a loop and you kill all the skeletons. You get essences you can sell for money. You'll get drops you can sell for money. And you want to continue to kill them until more and more bomber skeletons spawn. And just remember that you are after anything as close to 16% on the luck runes for your pickaxe as you can find. 12, 13, 14, 15, all that is fantastic. You put 3 of them in most of your pickaxes, you're sitting at an additional 30 to 40%. At maximum 16, a maximum 48%. I don't know about you, but a 48% additional boost to luck is awesome. I mean, even the angel race only gives you 30%. So 48, that's fantastic. Now let's move on to weapon runes. To me, there's really 2 options you're looking for in weapon runes. I will draw a line here in between the pickaxe runes above and the weapons below. And I'll draw another line here because beneath is all the armor runes and in the middle are the weapon runes. Your options are ice, burn, poison, snow, explosion, and lifesteal. Some of these don't exist. Ice and snow do not exist. Clearly they're coming out in the next update, which drops around Christmas. Poison was just added to the game. In my experience, it seems to be just okay. Truly, your options boil down to 2 things. It depends on what you're trying to do. For me, your options come down to explosion and lifesteal. Looking at explosion, when you're hunting for explosion runes, you're trying to aim for 40% on the explosion damage. The closer to 40% you get, the higher your damage is, and the closer you are to a perfect explosion rune. Same can be said for lifesteal. Lifesteal's top percentage is 13%. So those are the two numbers you're aiming for, whether you're going for lifesteal or whether you're going for explosion. Now, the lifesteal rune is called the Drain Edge rune, and it's only found on the strongest mob in the game, the Reaper, at a 1 in 12 chance. Again, I'm almost certain luck improves these odds. And the explosion comes on a rune called the Blast Chip, which is found by bombers and only bombers. So you're starting to catch a little trend here. To get your best mining pickaxe rune, the luck one, you want bombers. To get the explosion one, you want bombers. Believe me, you're going to be farming bombers. So get ready to spend a lot of time down in this basement killing these guys right here. The bombers who didn't give me anything. How dare they? Now, we'll talk about the secondary traits in just a second. For now, we're going to talk about the armor traits that we have available to us. For armor traits, we really only have 3. Thorns, Berserk, and Shield, though I've personally never seen Shield. Because while it says that Shield is available in the game, I look through all these zombies and all these skeletons, and it shows me their drops, and Shield is not found. So the only thing I can guess is that it's over in the Goblin Caves that I personally have not yet explored. If they are found in the Goblin Caves, comment down below and let me know. The best percentages for these are 10% on the Thorns ability, 30% on the Berserk ability, and 10% on the Shield ability. Personally, I'm currently using Thorns, though I haven't found Shields yet. I'm using Thorns because I've noticed that Thorns can stack up to a maximum of 5% of your HP. And I don't know about you, but my build is stacking more than 150% additional EXP. So the Thorns does a fantastic job of helping me kill my opponents because every time they hit me, I hit them back. The Thorns ability is found on the Briar Notch rune, which you can get from Death Axe skeletons at a 1 in 50 chance, or the elite Death Axe skeletons found in the lava area at a 1 in 40 chance. The Rage Mark is where you get the Berserk rune, and that is found on elite rogue skeletons down the lava zone at a 1 in 25 chance. And my theory is that the Shield rune is located in the Goblin Cave. Check the comments of the video in case anybody lets you know that. Now let's talk about the secondary traits, because when it comes to weapons and armor, the secondary traits actually make a significant difference. I personally don't use any runes that don't have secondary traits on them. Let's talk about the armor traits, which are above the red line: Swiftness, Vitality, Endurance, Stride, Phase, and Surge. Many of these affect your dash. They increase the distance on the dash, decrease the cooldown on the dash, increase the invisibility frames on the dash. Those are semi-useful, but there's just one option that is so significantly better, it's pretty much the only one you want to use, and that is Vitality. You guessed it, it increases your HP. The percentages are here in case you want to see, but Vitality caps out at an additional 10% HP per armor piece. You can clearly see just how much HP you can stack in this game when you couple them with the Uranium passive as well as the Briarthorn passive. That's a lot of damage you're reflecting. Now, this next topic is a really interesting one, and kind of a difficult one to describe. Not describe, but to analyze and to decide which one is actually a better DPS increase. And that is the secondaries on the weapon runes: Lethality, Attack Speed, Fracture, Critical Chance, and Damage, located here at the bottom of the screen. Each of these have a percentage that is the best in slot. 15%, 18%, 20%, 15, 15, etc. located here in this column. Depending on what build you're building, you're going to be looking for different things. Lethality is a straight damage increase, capping out at 15%. Attack speed makes you swing faster, so those explosion ones might come in handy. So personally, if I'm doing an explosion build, you might want to consider attack speed. Fracture affects enemies when they're stunned, so I find that to be a little less useful. That is the least useful of all of these. Critical hit chance and critical hit damage have a complicated relationship in any video game when it comes to the DPS calculation. The higher your crit chance goes up, eventually you want to spend more time increasing the amount of damage each crit does. But if you just increase critical damage, but your crit chance is low, you're not critting enough. So you got to find this really strange mathematical balance between the percent chance to crit and then how hard your crits hit. And unless I have access to the actual damage calculation formula, I can't tell you which one is technically better at what percentage. Like, is it where you reach 30% crit and then you really want to work on crit damage? It all fluctuates crazily. So for me personally, I've been stacking lethality on my non-explosion build. I'm doing a lifesteal build with lethality, the logic being the more damage I deal, the more life I steal. Makes sense. But then attack speed also helps because the more you swing, the faster you swing, the more lifesteal you've been getting as well. There's a lot to consider here. So maybe it depends if you can find some lifesteal runes or some explosion runes that have really good secondaries. Like, what if you had an explosion rune that had 15% lethality and near perfect explosion? Are you going to turn that down because it's not attack speed? I don't know. So the whole secondaries on the damage thing is nowhere near as clear cut as the secondaries on the armor, where you just want to stack HP. all the time. Ultimately, you're probably going to be spending a good chunk of time farming down here in the basement of this cave and killing skeletons over trying to find bomber skeletons to acquire mining shards and blast shards. That is the best mining thing in the game and probably arguably the best offensive shard in the game as well. After that, doing regular farming to acquire things like Briar Thorns or Berserk, honestly, those ones don't matter too much to me so long as they're providing me the secondary HP. That's what matters to me. So hopefully this video was useful to you. Hopefully it was valuable to you. If it was, go ahead and hit subscribe. Become part of the first 300k OGs on the channel, guys. And as always, thank you very much for watching.